Thank you so much for being here. I am Christy Remmel. I am president of the DFW Veterans Chamber, and my information is in the chat room. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And Chris, off to you.
Good morning, Chamber. My name is Chris Smith. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones. And one thing that I get to do with the Chamber is schedule member spotlight speakers. And this morning we actually had to call an audible because we had an emergency with our original speaker, but Mr. Olson, Eric Olson, he's a licensed massage therapist, has graciously agreed to step in and on short notice and help us out. And we're excited to hear from him. I can't wait to hear what he has to say as someone who deals with the daily aches and pains of being a little more gray than I used to be. He is called a miracle worker. That's and magic healing hands. So of course he has a deep connection with the veterans community. He used to work with disabled veterans, and I believe he still has a passion for that today. He is a Tai Chi practitioner too, so hopefully we'll be able to hear a little bit about that as well. And without further ado, I'd like to pass it over to Mr. Olson to speak with us.
Well, thank you, Chris. I am Eric Olson, and I am a licensed massage therapist. I worked the entire state of Texas. I got trained back in 2012 at a massage school in here in Plano. I am a passionate patriot. I did healing touch as well, but I was trained 35 years ago, believe it or not, by a lady. You guys might love this. She worked on Vietnam War veterans going to college on the GI Bill. She didn't work on just any GI. She ended up working on the paraplegics, the quadriplegics, and the amputees. She said, these are the people trying to get off their butt and do something with their life. You don't knock them back down when they're just trying to stand up. That's who taught me how to do massage. So I've got experience in deep tissue massage, medical grade scar tissue. For the ladies out there, prenatal and maternity, breast cancer, preventative medicine, scoliosis. I've got people with rods in their spines. I sit there and work on them and get their pain.
This meeting is being recorded.
So I do, repetitive strain injury, lymphatic, therapeutic. If you know somebody on a keto diet, I worked on a guy's stomach. He lost tons of inches and tons of weight the next week because we broke up that tissue to make it to where his body could absorb all that fat. If you know of somebody that's doing sporting events, needs reflexology, can't even be touched because they're just out of sorts. They're just not even in their own body. That's the type of people I work with. I do myofascial. I even do a head massage. She said some of these people were so bad, even the paraplegics, quadriplegics, she would do a head massage on them. And your equilibrium's in your ears. She would turn around and make them feel like their feet start to lift up off the table. Another 5 to 10 minutes, their whole body would come up, feel like they're completely suspended on the table. Remember, these were people that couldn't even feel their legs. These were Vietnam veterans that couldn't even feel their legs. She made them feel like they were whole again. That's the type of stuff that I was trained in doing. So, from the web, of course, I have to say some of these things because, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, I don't treat, and I don't cure. So I pulled some of these things off the web. So I'm not saying that I do any of this, of course, but you can alleviate low back pain and improve range of motion. You can ease medication dependency by letting the fluids and the pills and the medicine get to where it needs to go. You can enhance immunity by stimulating the lymphatic flow. You can exercise and stretch weak and tight muscles. It even helps some atrophied muscles. You can help athletes in their level of getting prepared to recover from strenuous workouts. I improve the conditions of their body, basically helping with pain, getting the flexibility going, the depression, the lessen the depression and anxiety. If you know of anybody having that, I help that. I help pump oxygen and nutrients into the tissue. reduce spasms, cramping, relax and soften injuries, release endorphins. Those are key to the brain, helping understand what's going on inside the body. So if you know of anybody going through that, that's the type of thing I can help. So other things I do, is basically, I was trained by nurses to do the healing touch. I do the table massages. I do chair massages. What makes me unique is I have people tell me where it hurts, and I'll figure out where to work. I don't just go drill in to where you say it hurts. I look at all the connections and figure out what it takes to get that to go away, sometimes without even touching that area. So I get the fluids of the body moving, and the body will take care of itself, is what I say. So some of the problems I've taken care of, I've had breast cancer survivors. I've got a letter from Texas Oncology authorizing me to work during the coronavirus to work on this breast cancer survivor. She had radiation that just radiated everything. It moved stuff that you wouldn't believe, and I turned around and do lymphatic drainage on that. So again, I do lymphatic work. I work on the sore muscles. I had one lady that had range of motion issues. She couldn't even do her hair, bring her arm up. So I had people that have had shoulder surgery scheduled. The doctors have canceled the surgeries because all of a sudden the range of motion is back. The fluids went in, the body took care of itself. All I'm doing is just helping people get the fluids where they need to go. And again, the body takes care of itself. It's an unbelievable thing. You guys know that. So I improve in circulation. I have had to make calls to 911 before with my technique. Believe it or not, in full disclosure, most of the time it's anxiety attacks. There are toxins in the body that start to come up. You ever had those nights where you wake up in sweat, things like that? It's like, why am I remembering these things? It's a lot of times these are toxins in your body being released and hitting your brain and making you have that memory. I help get those out of your system. I've had 911, like I said, called multiple times. Most of the time it's opioids or even toxic shock. I had one guy that had a stomach this thick, and he was a 110-pound guy. We ended up taking him to the hospital. The doctor said his systems were actually starting to shut down. You said, by bringing this to the surface, you may have saved the kid's life. Those are the types of things I do. They're not just regular massages. Some people say I'm not just a regular massage therapist. I go to the different level of helping people. Like I said, things bring back memories, the taste, the smells. Basically, I turn around and make those things work in you. I get them out of you so that, they work in your body. I had one lady that said after the 911 came out, she said she wanted to stay. They offered to take her to the hospital. She said, no, I want to stay and finish up. She gave me a $250 tip. She'd put her husband in the hospital for spousal abuse. She'd been in a car crash. She said, you've opened up a window to my future that I haven't seen for 5 years. She's like, you have no idea what you do here. I opened up a window to her future. One other guy I worked on was a veteran. Unbelievable case. He was in a wheelchair and on a walker. After I worked on him for 3 hours, sort of gross, but he sat on the toilet for 12 hours. He was going to the VA all the time. All the medicines I released came out of him. They weren't opioids, so he didn't tell me, didn't have any major medical issue, but all those medicines dumped out of him. You won't believe it. He said after that, he could start to walk again. He had been on a wheelchair and on a walker. All of a sudden he's walking. He said, I carry my cane with me, but I haven't had to use it yet. That's the type of stuff I do. I can't guarantee anything, but your body knows how to heal itself if the body can send the stuff where it needs to go. That's what I do. I move fluids in the body. In this particular case, I turned around and called the state because he wanted another massage, but he was under medical care of the VA. The VA said, well, we're the federal government. You guys have heard this before, probably. But the state says you actually have to have a letter authorizing you to work on somebody that's under medical care. He turned around, went back in, tried to get the letter. They said, nope. So I called the state. They gave me personal authorization to work on anybody in the state of Texas without medical authorization. They said, what you're doing here is beyond anything we've done before. This is the state of Texas, the Department of the Licensing and Regulatory Board. The regulatory board has given me authorization to do this. So again, if you know of anybody that can benefit from something like this, these are the things I do. So again, I've got another guy, he says, Eric is amazing. This was one of his testimonials. He really knows his trade. I was amazed on how effective he is and caused very little pain to accomplish it. His deep tissue techniques are incredible. He has helped me resolve some issues I've had for years. You really need to try him, understand how much he works in the body and gets the body to relax. I've had psychiatric nurses I've worked on. I've got one that, if I can't do it, I've got psychiatric nurses, a nurse practitioner that specialize in the treatment of PTSD, depression, anxiety. So if I can't do it, I've got people to refer you to. If you've got scar tissue, I've got a physical therapist I can refer you to. These are the things I do. Again, if you know of somebody that could benefit from this, have them give me a call. I put my information in the chat. What people say is about me is they've never had a massage like this before. And they ask, why doesn't everybody do it this way? I'm Eric Olson, licensed massage therapist.
Eric, can you put, yeah, that's amazing. Can you put the information in the chat again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to give you a buzz. My wife and I love massage, looking for a good therapist, but also tell us about your Tai Chi. I want to start Tai Chi as well, and would love to work with you on that.
The what?
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. Oh, yes. I taught Tai Chi for about 10 years. The church we were at has closed because of COVID and all this, but we used to teach that. We were trained by a teacher. He ended up going to the East Coast and we took it over. So it ended up being just a nice thing. We just taught tons of people every week and we did it for free.
Do you still do it?
They closed it down.
Do you want to find another place and work with me to find another place to do it?
We might. My schedule has been getting so crazy though, I may not have time is the problem.
All right, put your information in the chat and we'll talk about it.
Okay, you got it.
So Eric, I know we have a couple of people that have testimonials. I would like to open it up for that. If you've actually worked with Eric before and you would like to share, please feel free.
Well, I will admit, I've seen massage therapists over the years. I've seen chiropractors, and I've had lower back pain since a car accident when I was like 19, and nobody has been able to make it go away. And I saw Eric, he worked on me for a really long time. And I got up and I said, my back doesn't hurt. Wait a minute. What? It was the strangest feeling. And it hasn't hurt since. My lower back for the first time in, we will say, a long time. We're not going to age me quite that bad, but it's been a really long time since my lower back hasn't hurt. And I'm just going to say thank you, Eric, for what you did. I will come see you again soon.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else or any questions for Eric?
Yeah, Eric has also worked on me several times in the past. And just like Christine said, he's amazing. I always tease him because Eric used these words that are part of your body anatomy that I can't even pronounce. And I'm saying, Eric, are you making those words up as you work on me? Because they're phenomenal. And the other thing about Eric, if you're ever in a network meeting with him, sit close to him because he does little massages while he's giving his commercial. So yeah, I've been knowing Eric for years. He's amazing.
Eric, where are you located?
I'm in Plano. I'd work out of my house. I've got a room set up. Spring Creek and Alma. by 75.
You'll also will come and do massages in our homes.
I used to, but with the coronavirus and stuff, I just haven't done that in a years now. So right now I'm just having people come here.
So
It's probably
Eric, what do
easier
you
when-
recommend for a first-time patient or first-time, I don't know if you call them patients, but client?
Terms.
Yeah. So do you recommend a full like 60 minutes, 90 minutes? What is, what is standard for someone who's new to getting massages?
Usually it's 90 minutes just because I work on the body's systems. I get them draining. That takes a while, especially on first time people. But sometimes it can be 2 hours. I had a kid just get out of the hospital after a tear in his intestines, and it took an hour just to move some of the lymphatic drainage to get the fluids moving so the medicines can get in there. Like I said, with the veteran guy, he took 3 hours because I do it gently. I could do it all in 10 minutes. It's just you won't like the result. Take a bulldozer and run it over you, and it's going to squeeze and squish everything like you wouldn't believe. You just won't like the result. So I use an analogy, take a balloon. If it's blown up and it's tied off, how are you going to get the air and liquid out of it if it's a water balloon or air balloon? You untie it, and then everything starts to flow. If you pop it, which is what most people do, they go right in and start popping and ripping to where it hurts. All it's going to do is rip stuff up, and then you have to heal from that. It's not worth it. Go take the longer route, the softer route.